Well, good morning, folks. It is Saturday, which means it's Cars and Coffee Day here in Central Ohio. We are wrapping up here at our every single Saturday spot in Central Ohio, and I have my 1988 LTD Crown Victoria with me. It's a beast, let me tell you. It's a ton of fun, but it could be more fun. This is my budget build challenge to myself. Can I buy and build a car in today's market for $5,000 or less? So far, I'm $2,800 deep into this car, and it's been excellent. It's just not quite rowdy enough. So today, I am going to begin my modifications, or at least the acquisition of the modifications that I plan for this car. That does require me to take a 3.5-hour round trip up to Eastern Ohio to go get a couple of bits and pieces. And I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. I am going to take this car as what I'm driving. I have a lot of cool friends that show up for this. There's going to be some questionable activity that goes on in this video, so I'm just going to state right now, I am an idiot. Don't do what I do. This is probably not advised, but I got to do it. So we're going to go on a road trip. First, I got to stop at Jegs to pick up some parts that Uncle Bob needs for the Pontiac builds, and then we're going to get on the road and go pick up my very first parts for this car. I'm really excited for this thing, and I'm glad you guys have all been really paying attention, that so many people are interested in this 5-speed swapped Ford LTD. I've put a little over 250 miles on this car so far, and it's been fantastic. The amount of people that give this car love, that slow down and take pictures or video of it as I'm driving around, is hilarious. Of all the things that I drive, of all the cool cars I drive, this is rapidly climbing that list, with probably the AMX as to the car that most people notice, because you just honestly do not see these cars on the road anymore, especially up here in Central Ohio, where all of these things rotted back into the ground. So I am enjoying the car. I think I've got a plan as far as what direction we're going to go with it, and I promise I will continue to make this budget minded. I'm going to do my very damnedest to do this under $5,000. There's a lot of things that need to be changed and a lot of things that need to be upgraded. We'll see how this turns out. Got to make a quick questionable purchase here. Got to swing into Myers real quick to make a quick questionable purchase. Yep, gonna need 2 of those. Maybe a couple of rubbery bungee cord type things. That'll work. We're on a budget. Save $2. Got what we needed at Myers. I'm gonna head to the shop, pick up one little last thing that I need, at least as a safety precaution. And then we're off on our drive up yonder, about 2 hours that direction, and I am on schedule. I think you guys are gonna like this. I've been really going around and around in circles on how I want to do this, what I want to do to make this beautiful 5-speed couch a bit more fun, and I think I've struck on the right answer. I don't want to give away the ghost. I don't want you guys to know too much about it, but I think you guys are going to be on board with what I'm going to do here. Now, whether or not I make a gigantic financial mistake and waste a ton of money, that's possible. That is possible, I'll be honest. I'm just an idiot, just like you guys are. I just put my idiocy on the internet for everybody to see. So, this could crash and burn and blow up in my face. And if it does, you guys can all laugh at me. There's just something about a 5-speed stick shift Crown Vic. It just makes this so much more fun. Bro, it's not a stop. Ugh. Bad drivers everywhere. Alright, quick little stop out to the shop. Sneak in the backyard here real quick. Oh. Nope. Let's see. That'll probably work. A little 15-inch guy. Get all that trunk space. Just put that right there. Should be good. All right. Let's go make another financial bad decision. Oh, I still didn't fix these doors yet. Open that door to open this door. Need to fix that. Oop. Should probably pour out that Tanqueray also, huh? Although I love having it in the car. Probably not smart. Let's pour that out. Yep, that is definitely still Tanqueray gin. Sorry to be wasting that. But not smart to carry it in the car. Keep the bottle though. £25 of oil pressure at idle, almost 30 pounds of oil pressure at idle. I like it. Oh man, I tell you, I don't know that there's anybody else out there that makes as many bad decisions financially as I do when it comes to automotive stuff. If you know who that is, that's better or worse at making these kinds of decisions than I am, let me know. I would love to get in touch with them. It'd be an interesting collaboration video. Don't hit the AMAXs. Do need to get onto those things someday. Too many projects, not enough time and space. Way to travel. No wonder the land yachts were so popular back in the day. Laying back on a couch, rumbling down the highway, staring with one finger, straight chilling. Made better with a stick shift. And by the way, also, thank you for using the long shifter on this, because it could have a short throw in it or a little short stubby shifter. They didn't go that direction. They went the kind of the long route. And it makes it a whole lot easier to grab gears when you're sitting on a couch. Like I can physically grab these gears fully chilled out. Whoever did this, you done good. You done good, kid. You done real good. I don't feel like that temperature gauge is quite accurate. I find it hard to believe that I'm hauling down the interstate at 2,400 RPMs at 160 degrees. Less than 160 degrees. May have to look into that. Hey, at least the car's running, no problem. I also, by the way, haven't checked tire pressure on this. Haven't checked the oil. Haven't checked tranny anything. Haven't checked coolant level. Nope. Haven't looked at any of that. Send it. It's just the kind of guy I am, I'll be honest. I am a fly by the seat of your pants, no safety nets kind of guy. I don't recommend that to everybody though. I am a trained professional. So comfortable. Former Longaberger basket. Yes, that's a gigantic basket. It's old people in the Midwestern thing you wouldn't understand. I am buying this off of Facebook Marketplace, this thing that I'm on my way to go get, this upgrade that I'm gonna go get. As usual, you really never know what you're gonna find when you buy something off of Facebook, but it is also a pretty reasonable way to get a pretty reasonable deal on things. If I get what I think I'm getting as it's pictured, I think I've got a good move here. I think I've got a good upgrade. You know, there's always the chance that I get shot, stabbed, raped, or stolen, but we're gonna hope for the best. We'll see. We'll see. I've got the finalization of this project, I think, rolling around in my brain. I hope you guys are gonna like this. I think you will. And I think it's gonna make this car excellent. Even more excellent than it already is. All right, LTD, time to earn your pay. Let's see if this thing fits. When I asked if they had an engine hoist, I was thinking engine hoist. I was not thinking what we're about to try. This could be interesting. Oh boy, hopefully I don't just ruin my car. Hopefully I don't just ruin my car. Oh boy. I don't know if that'll fit in there. It'll fit.
It'll fit. It's not.
The question is, how do we clear the trunk? There you go, just a little trunk off, engine in the trunk action. It'll fit. Well, she's in. Question is, gotta drive it that way. A little bit of a lowrider in the rear. Trunk is back on, kinda. We'll have to mess with our trunk alignment when we get a chance, but let me tell you what we got here. This is a 1995 5.8 liter Ford, also known as a 351 Windsor, and this later generation is a roller motor. So I have a roller Windsor 351. So everything's better with more inches. 302, 351. Immediately we have more inches. This is also a much better platform to be able to build from. There's a lot of options that are in this thing that I can go to. It's going to give me more power right off the rip than what this thing had, but it also gives me a whole lot more options. Now the other nice thing is the 302 that's in this, I have already sold to a friend of mine to recoup some of my costs for buying this. And it does come as an entire complete pullout. As you can see, I've got all my accessory drive and everything on here as well. So reasonably easy in-out swap. My headers should swap over between the two, maybe a little adjustment as far as the length goes. The difference between a 302 and a 351 as far as physical size goes, they bolt in the same way. They use the same engine mounts. However, the 351 is slightly taller, as in this way, than the 302 is. But these came, as I said, in a police package with a 351 Windsor in them from the factory. So it will fit. It will just do everything it's supposed to do. It just, it's going to be a little extra tight. But I am $600 into a 351 roller and minus $400 for my 302. So I've only got $200 in my new 351 roller upgrade. How about them apples? No idea the situation that's going on in this. Could be bad, could be ugly. I know a lot of people would be like, just change the oil and shove it in the hole and let's rock and roll. I'm not really very good at that. So I'm probably going to end up tearing this thing down. Obviously all of this stuff, the EFI stuff and all that junk, is going to go in the recycling bin. All I really want is from about here down. All that crap can go away. We're going to figure out what we're going to do as far as the top end goes with fuel injection, carburetor, intake manifold, that kind of stuff. When I figure out what I've got. Next thing I got to do is get all the way back to Columbus. I did not put my airbag helpers in because it does actually roll in its current state. And this ought to be a very interesting drive home. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not editing this video until I'm home safe or on the back of a tow truck. So let me pay these fine folks and I'll get back on the ride. Oh, I just also remembered there's a barbecue between where I am and where I'm going. There's Roscoe's Barbecue, I think. I'm gonna stop in there and grab myself some food because I haven't eaten yet today. So, welcome to Automotive Adventures with Austin. This is certainly an adventure, but this is gonna make this so much cooler. 351 Windsor, 5-speed Crown Victoria LTD. Freaking yeah, dude. I'm excited. All right, baby. Oh yeah. We're rolling. This might be a little sketchy. Yeah, a lot sketchy. This may be one of my worst ideas I've had in a long time, to be honest with you. Oh boy, all right. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. We're on the road, boys. We're on the road. Oh, God. So far, ride quality, absolute shit. She's definitely riding like basically on the bump stops. This may not be a smart move, Austin. This may not have been a smart move. I'm definitely gonna have to drive slower home. That's for damn sure. Anything scraping? I don't think so. Just cruising, buddy. All I gotta do is drive 2 hours like this. So let's put in the comments how many of you thought I was doing this today, or that I would be dumb enough to do this. I can maybe leave that part out, but how many of you thought I'd do a 351 Windsor swap on this thing? Probably not many of you, and probably none of you would have said I was going to go get it in the actual car I plan on swapping it into. Oh man. All right, here we go. Highway driving. Nice signal. It's not terrible. I am a little curious what my pinion angle's at with the rear end crushed like that. No terrible vibrations, but I will take it easy. First step, barbecue. And I am definitely leaning, baby. Well, I made it 15 miles down the road. It's barbecue. Aha! All right. Check on our load. I think we're doing all right. Check the straps. Yep, the straps are good. Piece of cake, no big deal. Have to get underneath it, see how far off the ground those mufflers are. Well, you tell me. Are we good? A cool little spot. Roscoe's Barbecue. It's in Roscoe Village, Coshocton, Ohio. A little outdoor smokehouse there, a little eating area. Very nice. I like it. Lock keepers, 1850. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Cool little place. Sorry, you don't get to watch this part.
These are all locals from around here.
I was just about to ask. So I saw that it's the lock keeper's house is on the door.
Mm-hmm, yep, that's what it used to be.
Wow.
The tabletops are the original flooring. You
Oh,
saved
cool.
all the floor and they tore it up, put down new flooring. That's all the original flooring.
Very cool. All right, brisket, ribs, mac and cheese, applesauce. That's as close as I get to fruits and vegetables. That was some fantastic barbecue. All right, folks, listen, I am a barbecue connoisseur. Those are some of the best damn ribs I've ever had in my life. If you find yourself in Coshocton, Ohio for any particular reason, Roscoe's Barbecue is a must. Absolutely fantastic spot, great location, excellent food, great people. I highly recommend it. Fat Guy approved. Roscoe's Barbecue. Right here on the water, as you can see. Very cool. All right, folks. I am significantly well refueled. Let's get back on the highway and just cruise home. I have no set time when I need to be there. I just need to actually arrive. I've got about 80 miles, 85 miles, I think, before I'm back in Columbus. So we're just gonna hang out in the right-hand lane, go the speed limit or less, probably less. And we shouldn't really have much of any stoplights from here all the way back to the shop. So wish me luck. Avoid the potholes. And we will have completed another hellacious automotive adventure. By the way, for those of you who are curious why in the world I would do this, part of this whole idea was to do this on a budget, to make this something that everybody could do. You, me, anybody. Any person that's willing to spend $5,000 could do this. So I want to kind of make that as true as possible by not utilizing all of the other things that you may or may not have, like a truck or a trailer, or all of the other various people that I'm connected to. I'm trying to do this as I possibly can. Not just because it's hilarious to see somebody running down the road in an LTD with the nose up in the air and a 351 Windsor poking out of the trunk. By the way, hello, Harley guys, biking folks that I just met at the barbecue place. If you happen to see me, nice talking with you. As I'm trying to make this as legitimately as possible budget process. Most people don't just have a spare truck where they can run and go grab a motor, so I'm doing this as if you had just bought yourself a 1988 LTD, and what would you do? Probably not what I'm doing, but you get the point. Rumble on down the road. This car already got a lot of looks. It gets a lot more looks when there's a 351 Windsor poking out of the trunk. Ride quality. Isn't bad. Not great. Isn't bad. Does rub a bit when it goes over bumps. Also, yes, factory original suspension underneath this thing. Gonna be fine. I was gonna do the footballs. I was gonna do the footballs in the springs. I had messaged the people that I was picking that motor up from and asked if they had an engine hoist, which generally speaking I'm gonna, pick it out of somebody's garage or whatever. And normally they're gonna have a floor jack I could borrow or something to jack the car up, put the footballs in the springs, and then we're rocking and rolling. Wasn't the case where I was there. So we're just winging it. Good news is, if I make it all the way back in one piece, I can take those footballs back and get my $30 back. So there's that. Woo. Slow and steady wins the race. Just floating. And all I got to do is make it around the north end, so northeast corner to the northwest corner. This is I will forever judge my success and stupidity based on how many people laugh, point, and take pictures of me. This has been quite entertaining. The amount of people driving by with very shocked looks on their faces and or filming and photographing this. I don't know why. You just don't see anybody just cruising down the road in a land yacht with a big ass small block sticking out the trunk. I don't know. This has been an experience. I would say I'm gonna make it. Unless something's absolutely monumentally stupid happens in the next 20 miles. There's one stoplight between here and the shop. Otherwise, I'm just smooth rolling. There is some road construction, which is a little concerning, and bridge transitions are a little terrifying because the tires rub every time I hit a transition. But I think we're gonna make it. Now, what state these factory original Motorcraft air shocks are in by the time I'm done with this experience, I don't know, or the factory original springs. It definitely does not ride quite as well as it normally does, but really not that bad. And just like that, we're back at the shop. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I didn't doubt it for a second. Did you? Okay. So here's where we stand. Here's where we are right now. This is the situation as it is. I'm gonna get this motor out. I'm gonna set it over yonder in front of the dyno to just hang out. Per the ad, this was a 144,000 mile motor, I believe, if I remember that correctly. 144,000 mile motor, came out of a E-Van 95, so it's a roller motor. All that horrible EFI stuff that I don't need to use, I'm not going to use. But the big question is, what do we do from here? We now have the motor. What do we do? I know my natural inclination is to tear this thing apart top to bottom, make sure everything is great, do all the things, replace all the bits, put it back together again, and then rock and roll with it. I know a lot of people would just do the junkyard thing, toss it in, rock and roll, let's go. I'm not good at that. The only time I've ever done that was that 79 AMX that I have, and that did not go well. The spare motor that came with the car that was supposed to ran when pulled, as soon as we went through the whole process of getting it in, and by we I mean mostly Rich, fired it up, it leaked everything. And whatever didn't leak, it smoked. It was horrible. It was roached. I don't know about this. You know, vans obviously are not going to get probably abused, but they're also usually not going to get very well maintained. So I'm up to you guys. Give me your ideas. I mean, I figure you got to at least, I got to pull all the EFI crap off the top of it. And then the exhaust manifolds have got to come off, all those little bits and pieces that I'm never going to use. But at that point in time, what do we do? I got to at least pull the valve covers off, pull the oil pan. Do you just check some bearings, check the rockers, make sure that they don't look like they're completely sludged and baked? I don't know. What would you guys do? I'm genuinely asking, what would you guys do if this were your ran when pulled junkyard, who knows what? What would you do? How far would you go? Obviously, we're going to need to put a camshaft in this thing, and do whatever we can as far as the heads go to add some performance to this little beast. I don't think we're going to be able to afford to put aluminum heads on this thing, so maybe we pull the heads off and we do a little bit of Porty Polisher free horsepower stuff like I did on the Pontiac. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know. I'm not good at budget builds, guys. I'll be honest. I'm not good at this. I am not wired for this. I am a let's do it all, start to finish, and let's rock and roll. That's the kind of guy I am, and I lose sight of project scope. I definitely lose sight of budgeting. You know, and I end up in situations where I have spent way too much money on something. So I'm trying my best to, this is not just for entertainment purposes. This is me trying to do something that I've never done before, which is build a car on a budget. Thus far, I was $2,800 into the car, $600 motor, minus the $400 for my 302. So I'm $3,000 into it. So I got $2,000 to spend from here in. So take the EFI off. I'm probably not going to be able to sell that. Nobody would want that. Do the top end kit, do a camshaft. That's probably about it. Also, another question for all of you 351 Windsor guys. I've been Googling my butt off and YouTubing my butt off to find somebody who's done a carb swap video with one of these things and shown the process and the actual numbers. Is anybody interested in that kind of thing? Do I need to try to convince Bob to let me carb swap this thing and put it in, or put a distributor on it and take it up to Bob's and run it as it sits, so we can see what this thing makes as it is if you were just to carb swap this thing? Is that something interesting, or do we not bother with setting a baseline, generally accept the baseline numbers that we know with the EFI system, and then build it from there? Let me know what you think. I'm genuinely curious. I gotta figure out how to get this thing out of the back of the car. Feel like I'm gonna have to take the trunk back off. sure what that was. Nope, gotta take the trunk off. Son of a... Hey Jeff, I'm gonna use your gun and your 10 mil. Hope you don't mind. Also, definitely cross-threaded those on the way in. That's freaking fantastic. Great. Always something. Okay, can I do this by myself? I don't know. That's gonna be tough. Try not to destroy the perfect trunk or the glass. Ooh. Ooh, this is dangerous. Don't hurt the glass, don't hurt the glass. Don't hurt the glass. Shit. That kind of worked. Wow. That engine rotated when it fell. Now it's got the intake and looks like, I don't know what those are. Whatever. Those hard metal lines on the top are now underneath that lip. And I damaged the trunk up here. This is supposed to be way back here. The whole dang motor just rotated in there, so. Okay. Figure out a way to rotate it back this way. Do not drop it on your perfect bumper. There we go. How many of you didn't think I'd be able to figure that out? Show of hands. I am wringing wet with sweat. Hey, for all of you guys who are like, Austin, why don't you film yourself working on stuff? There you go, working on stuff. Hot, sweaty, covered in sweat, dust, gross. Whew, God, that sucked. All right, we're ending this here. I win. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know what you think I should do in the next video with this 351 Windsor. What do I do? Let me know. See ya. Bye. Mission accomplished. Extra credit. 296 miles, 15.8 gallons of fuel. Even with 1,000 pounds of motor in the back of this thing. And the trunk open. which I'm sure did not help my fuel economy. I will take it. I will take it.